Good morning and welcome back to the bait challenge. Now, as you know, yesterday things didn't quite go as we expected. The plan we come up with was to put a lot of bait out last night in the hope that through the hours of darkness the fish would have time to find these areas and get some confidence up in feeding. Now, I've woke up early this morning and to be honest with you, the conditions are perfect. It's overcast, the temperature's quite warm, and I've got a nice gentle crosswind from left to right. I am really confident of a few fish on camera for you today. Now, as you know, at the moment the naturals are 1-0 up. The naturals are fishing on the right hand rod against the man-made baits on the left hand rod. For now, the rod's are already set. It's just a case of sitting back and seeing as the action unfolds today. So let's see how we get on. Well, it looks like we have an equaliser. The left hand rod is plodded off slowly, not a lightning quick run, but just positive, slow one motion. I'm not 1,000,000% sure what it is. It's not really doing particularly too much, which would indicate it's probably a bream. It's coming towards me fairly quick. Just trying to keep out of the way with this other rod, not interfere with that hook bait. Plodding down there. It is another bream, quite a nice size as well. Just switched over to a couple of bits of corn. Yesterday we were fishing boilie and it seems to have made a difference. So he's just coming slowly over the net. Very nice size fish. And he's in. That makes it 1-1. Hopefully there's a few more to come. Let's get him on the mat and have a look at him. Well, here he is. Let's have a quick look at him. I'll just pop him on the mat. Caught on the method this time. Quickly take this hook out. It's another nice size for a bream. Nice and dark in colours. Probably been in here quite a while. See if we can hold him up for you. And there he is. Cracking size fish. And hopefully there's a few more of these to come. Let's slip him back. Just going to guide him back in the shallow water. Give him a helping hand. Just sat there in for the weeding a bit and he's off. Great little start. Eager to get another bait out there. Let's see if we can have a few more of those. 1-1. Well, there's some good news for me. The rod screamed off again, looked up, and it's a man-made bait, so providing I get this in, that's 2-1. Couple of bleeps on the other rod maybe though. Perhaps there's a few fish now starting to get in the area. We are getting much more indications on both rods. Little knocks and line bites. And then you just get one out of the blue, steams off. We're into another fish, feels like another bream. Don't really do much, but the size of the bream in here, they just use their weight and plod about. Still getting line bites. Another nice fish. See if we can slip the net under him. Here he comes. Get in. That's 2-0 to me. 2-1 should I say. Let's get him on the mat. Slightly bigger fish to the last one. It's a bit thicker across the shoulders, which is normally what you find when bream start to get bigger. They can only get a certain size like a dustbin, but across here, he is a very, very big fish. He's probably eight pound maybe. Like I said, he's got a nice thickness across the shoulders, across the back. And that, by any John standard, is a nice sized bream. Let's get him out there again. Competition's starting to hot up now. As I said, much more indications on both rods. And we could have a few of these bream if we keep going. Let's pop him back. Be a bit careful not to fall in. Sort of perching on this rock just to try and get these fish out a little bit more so they've got a depth of water to swim back in. He didn't take any encouragement to go back. Great little fish. Let's get back out of there. Well, the sun's come up, the action's coming thick and fast. I was just recasting the natural rod and the other rod's tore off. Feels like another bream. And it looks like it's 3-1 to me. After a few little texts from Chris last night, how he's 1-0 up and he's got it in the bag for tomorrow. He's not looking too sharp now. Well, he's just about ready to be netted. Here he comes. And he's in. I'll make that one 3-1. Let's have a look at him. Had some power for a bream, this one did. And again, it is another nice fish. So far, every fish has been hooked really well in the side of the lip. There is a little bit shorter, but he's got some weight to him. Cracking standard of fish, really is good. Let's not keep him too long. I'm eager to try and stretch my lead out as much as I can. Let's get him back. And away he goes. Well, that was a bit of a hectic moment. I've got no rods in the water at the minute. I'm going to get both of them chucked out there again. They're definitely having a bit more of a feed now. Let's get a few more fish.
As the morning session progressed, the fish started to turn on. It was soon apparent they were in the area and feeding on a baited spot. Even though the man-made baits and new specimen style of fishing with the method feeder and short hook length had taken an early lead, there was still time for the old style tactics and natural baits to make a comeback, and this is precisely what happened. As by mid-morning, roughly halfway through our session, the scores were finally balanced at 3-2. Both me and Steve were confident our styles would come out on top, and with a crisp £5 note on the line, tensions were high. But of course, there could only be one winner.
It's a great stand of fish again. Let's battle back on. 3-2.
A steady stream of specimen-sized bream started to grace our landing net. However, unfortunately for me, they all fell to the man-made baits on Steve's rods, propelling him into a convincing lead. And as the session progressed, it looked like there was only going to be one winner, and it looked as if the crisp £5 note would once again be heading Steve's way. As by midday, the action had slowed, it seemed apparent that we'd had the best of the fishing. But with 7 quality fish on camera, our mission had been achieved, and in reality, well, we were both very happy.
Well, we're into mid-afternoon now, and the fishing has slowed significantly. If I'm going to be honest, what I think has happened is we've had a big shoal of fish move in on us, and that's the reason for the good action earlier on. But I think they've cleared up most of the bait, and that's the reason why it's slowed down. If I was going to stay on for another 3 or 4 hours, I'd probably take the approach of putting a bit more bait in the hope that the fish would come back, and I'm sure these fish would come back if I was to put bait in. But I'm going to call this an end to the challenge. As expected, the man-made baits with the pellets and boilies have won, but not by quite as big a margin as I expected. And to be honest, if I was going to conclude anything about this session, it would be yes, that the man-made baits are working in today's fishing, but there's definitely a bit in the market there for natural baits, and it's definitely worth a go to try and catch a fish or two if you're struggling. Anyway, I've had a brilliant day. It's been some fantastic fishing with great fish on camera. Everything in size has been really, really big. The best thing about today, of course, is taking another crisp £5 note from Chris. And I would just like to say before we go, thanks for watching this episode, and we'll see you again on the next one.